Okay. Anyway, though, today we are going to talk about one of my favorite topics. Um, and it's something that I hold dear as well. It's how to make good inferences. Okay, so inferences are you've been making inferences since you were in primary school. So inference is basically an intelligent guess, right? But how are you intelligent? Well, basically it's a bit like common sense, and it's a bit like kind of like being able to predict what people are going to do next, kind of thing. So that's inference. Um, so yeah, we're going to do that today. Bernie says Chun. What do you mean by rejected? Rejected for what? Oh, because it's Valentine's Day yesterday, right? Oh my goodness. Okay, sorry. Didn't say anything. I didn't realize it was Valentine's Day yesterday. I did not even celebrate it because my wife and I were so tired. We just flew back to Sydney, right, from Singapore. And now in Singapore it's what time? It's 7:33, right? Now in Sydney it's 10:33, Like, let me show you like outside, right? It's dark as everything. Look, it's super dark out. I know you can't really see the difference, but yeah, I'm in Sydney right now. It's super dark. So, yep. Um, and you know what? Flying on the plane, right, is not the tiring part. The tiring part is taking care of my baby on the plane. My 9-month-old baby. Oh my God. But anyway, it's my wife taking care of her most of the time. So not too bad. But my wife was really tired, so I had to help out a lot as well. So Valentine's Day, didn't even happen. So, how was your Valentine's Day? Some of you might have had some secondary school romance going on. My recommendation is complete your secondary school first, and then after that, you can think about romance in junior college or polytechnic, right? Yeah. Wesley says he prefers to stay at home. What is romance when anime is more important? Haha. But anyway, um, yeah, so I think the maturity is just really different. I never had a girlfriend in secondary school, but my wife had a boyfriend in secondary school. I'm not sure why, but yeah, she's popular. Um, so let's have a look at inference today, and I would just like to ask a question. All of you, please reply me privately. Do you guys have a Pay Now account? Like, do you have a bank account that's linked to PayNow, or do you have like a Singapore bank account? Please let me know. Jimin has PayLah, that's good. Birkin has PayNow. Wesley only pays by cash. Okay. So I was you know why I asked? So some of you haven't replied. You know why I asked? Because it's Chinese New Year, right? And then I was intending to do like a short quiz later, 8 inferential questions. For each question that you get correct, right? I'll give you $1 directly. So if you get all 8 questions correct, you get $8 red packet from me. Aha! I am going to give you money, but you must get it correct first. $100, Jimin, wait for a long time. Okay, I don't have so much money to give everyone $100. Are you mad? Wesley has Google Rewards. Okay, so some of you have PayLah, PayNow. Some of you don't have a bank account. Um, so it's very tough. Okay, so what I can do is I can record your amount first, and then if you want to change for something like game currency, or if you want to like buy something online, that kind of thing, I don't know what I can get for $8 though. Then I can buy it and then send it directly to your house, perhaps. Yeah. So yeah, if you guys don't have PayNow or PayLah, then I can't actually send the money over because I'm all the way here in Australia. So I need to do it online. Yeah. Primo Gems, whatever that is. If you give me the website, I can, just add I can add the accounts to you. Shopee Pay, yeah, potentially as well. Let me see. Shopee Pay. I don't know how to use it though. I've never used Shopee Pay before. Uh, Welcome to Shopee Pay. It's T-Money's mobile wallet, which provides users with easy access to digital payment services, user a seamless shopping experience. Well, what I can get for you, Chloe, I don't want you to give me your Shopee account, but what I can do for you is if you have something that's $8 on Shopee, I can just order it and then get it sent to your place. Yeah, that's a potential. Um, we're talking about payment modes because you get to win $8 later if you get all 8 questions correct. All 8 inferential questions. So how am I going to give you that $8 if you don't have pay now? You know what I mean? Bernie, I don't have $500,000. Okay, I must sell my whole house to even get $500,000. Okay. Why am I in Australia? Because I live in Australia, Jimin. This is actually my house is, and I'm a permanent resident in Australia. One question, give $5. No way. Stop asking for more cash, people, or it's not even gonna happen for the rest. Aha. Okay. So, next person who asked me to raise the amount, I'm gonna cancel the entire quiz. Okay. Now, let's start. Okay, and today we are looking at inference questions because inference questions are the quite a common one for your narrative comprehension, which is your section B of your paper 2. Okay, section B. So narrative is normally fictional, all right, and inference is when they ask you about the characters involved in the story, right? That's why it's called inferential in the first place. So you have to make guesses about their relationships. You have to make guesses about what's happening over here. Like sometimes the author won't come out directly and tell you that that is the situation, but the author will only drop hints here and there. Okay, and you have to make the best inference as you can. So like what I always tell my students, if you see someone walking into a shopping center and that person is completely drenched from head to toe, okay, that person is wearing a business suit, that person is an adult, right, a man, he looks to be in his 30s, that kind of thing. A very bad inference would be to say, oh, that man was playing water guns with his friends before he came into the shopping center, that's why he's so wet. That's a crappy inference, all right? Number one, can adults play water guns? Yes, but not in business suits. It's too uncomfortable. Number two, will you go and play with water guns on the way to an important meeting? Probably not, right? So that's a bad inference. A better inference might be, oh, this man is wet from head to toe because he got drenched in the rain as he forgot to take an umbrella along with him. That's a good inference. All right. If you say some things like, he fell into the pond, that's why he's so wet, that's possible as well. Okay, but like he fell into like the fountain out front, in front of the shopping center, that kind of thing, that's actually a better inference than saying he was playing water guns with his friends before he came into the shopping center. That's a worse inference, right? Because it's possible. People do fall, especially when they're not looking and they're using their phones all the time. They can just fall into the fountain, it's possible. Yeah. So that's what I mean by inference, right? Whether you understand how the world works or whether you understand how people behave in general, it will determine your inferential skills. All right. So that's why we are looking at inference today. So inference is a very, very important skill to have. Out of the 20 marks that you might get for section B, approximately 8 marks are dedicated to inferential questions. So this is how important inferential questions are. Okay, I don't need to go through the house rules with you. Let's move on to the next part, the narrative comprehension part. So I've explained what inference is, basically. All right, so let's have a look over here. Right, this is just an example. It was Joshua's first skydiving experience. At 13,000 feet above the mountain, the door of the plane was thrown open. Air rushed through the small plane. Never having seen a door open mid-flight, Joshua was stunned. Having strapped Joshua in earlier, the instructor told him to jump out on the count of 3. His friends were waiting in line, all eager to take their turn at jumping. Go, Joshua, go! They chorused in unison. Above the drone of the engine, Joshua could still hear his heart studying. Not only did he entertain second thoughts about making the jump, he also did not dare to look down. At this time, with legs soft as jelly, he wondered why he had signed up for skydiving. Was it peer pressure? Was it foolishness? So, over here, the words in bold, right? Not only did he entertain second thoughts about making the jump, he also did not dare to look down. What do these words tell us about Joshua over here? So, some of you might immediately say, oh, it tells us that Joshua is a coward, that kind of thing. That's not true. Anyone faced with that particular situation might find themselves having second thoughts. Yeah? Anyone who's asked to bungee jump off, a very, very high tower, right, on the bungee rope that might snap, will have second thoughts. It's only human to have second thoughts, right? And not daring to look down, that's only human. Okay, so we can't call him a coward. But what can we tell about Joshua? We can tell that over here, Joshua is feeling fear, and Joshua is feeling a slight regret, and Joshua might also be feeling a little bit confused about why he was in that situation in the first place. That's all we can tell. You can't immediately look at these words in bold here and say, oh, Joshua is a coward. If he's a coward, he wouldn't be in that plane, right? Unless he was a foolish coward. He was foolish enough to be peer pressured into going on a skydiving trip. But think about it. A skydive is not cheap. All right, skydives begin and start from $500 onwards. If you're already paying so much money, all right, when I say 500, I mean like Singapore 500, right? If it's converted to US dollars, it might be 350 and above, right? But Singapore dollars for skydiving, it's 500 onwards, okay? But for the boys over here, all right, you can get a free skydiving experience if you are a Singapore citizen or Singapore permanent resident and you join the commandos when you go into the army. If you join the commandos, you get a free skydiving experience. Okay, sponsored by the Singapore Army. For the girls in this group, unfortunately, you don't get a free skydiving experience, but you can always pay for one. Okay, so that's what we can tell about Joshua over here. All right, he was feeling a little bit of regret because he entertained second thoughts and he did not dare to look down. So you might also guess that he might actually have a fear of heights. But if he did though, why did he enter the plane and pay like $500+ for this a skydive in the first place, right? I know how much a skydive actually costs because I paid for one. So really, really crazy, right? So why would he do that? Next, look at Joshua's friends, right? What do the words in bold tell us about them? Here it says what? His friends were waiting in line, all eager to take their turn at jumping. Go, Joshua, go! They chorused in unison. What does it tell you about Joshua's friends? Did they appear as if they were smirking, right, in like trying to make fun of Joshua? Were they being very nasty or rude towards Joshua and say, ha ha, sucker, we managed to get you on this plane and now you have to jump, although you are afraid of heights. Ha ha, Dumbo. They're not, right? You can tell from this line here that they were truly eager. They were truly daredevils, right? They really wanted to jump out of the plane and experience skydiving once in their life. So we can tell what? We can tell that his friends were very enthusiastic. It appears as if they were not frightened at the prospect of skydiving, and they were quite encouraging actually, because they all chorused in unison together, go Joshua, go, go Joshua, go. So they were quite encouraging actually. So over here, right, poor Joshua has to jump. Maybe a bit of peer pressure from behind as well, because everyone's shouting, go Joshua, go, that kind of thing. Yeah. So Wesley asked me a very interesting question. If you were to have no will to live, as in like you don't want to live anymore, might you still have second thoughts about skydiving? So think about this, okay? If someone doesn't want to live anymore, someone has suicidal thoughts, all they're thinking about is dying. So they want to make sure So it doesn't mean that people who want to commit suicide, right, they have no fear at all